Hello everyone and welcome to what will be the final episode of Planet Coaster, at least on this park. I'm excited to get something new going, but also I'm kind of hitting the limits of the current alpha, at least for my computer. You know, what we built is actually fairly large, fairly detailed, and at this point I would like to try and get my FPS back up to 60 instead of this below 20 thing that's going on, because it really slows down the progress and it makes it kind of a chore to get anything done quickly. And especially for these videos where, you know, I want to try and upload quickly for you guys so you guys are entertained as frequently as possible. You know, I'm going to take this as this is pretty much as far as I'm going to take it. Sadly, due to all the books and bookshelves and all the items placed around the park in whole, we won't be finishing the second roller coaster that is inside the library. You know, it just wasn't meant to be, it seems like, but I think that's okay, as pretty much within a couple episodes you'll get a new coaster anyways as we start a new theme park. I'm not going to tell you guys what the theme is just yet. I think it's going to be pretty cool. It's going to be relatively relevant for what I've been doing lately, and then also for what's, you know, been coming out here recently in gaming. So I hope you guys kind of look forward to that. I need to do some final tests for the theming though and see if it's really doable. But I hope to have that within this week for you guys. So be excited for something that is not Roman. I'm pretty excited to get something new, and I hope you guys are as well. But to finish off, I at least wanted to get all the above ground structures completed in the park. And what this structure here is behind the kickflip, and the kickflip is this it's a lot of gears and kind of moving parts and kind of spinning, and it very much reminds me of like the early engineering kind of things that you would see like maybe Leonardo make, or any of those old Renaissance kind of engineer fellows. And so this is going to be the engineer's workshop that is sitting behind the kickflips. It kind of makes the ride hopefully tie into the environment a little bit better. Until we can color these flat rides, as it is still a locked feature, I would have liked to make it look maybe wooden in color, so like some browns and some reds to make it look a little bit more antiquity. But until then, it's pretty much the only way I can think of to tie that ride into everything. So what we have, this is the chimney for the forge and foundry of the workshop. And I really like the way these windows looked, especially with kind of the brass copper siding on it. And so I used that as the base, trying to basically make a spot where all the hot coals would be, which would be right here, kind of sticking out from the main chimney. And then I'm using this door to kind of create this arched, it's almost like an oven in a sense, an oven-like shape, kind of going backwards, and just to bulk up the general kind of size and to make it look a little bit more proper. I added a fairly large fire pit onto it just to make it look maybe a little bit more showy, and I think that turned out relatively well. Also using some upside down windows here to kind of cap off the top. So this is going to be a relatively quick episode, you know, just a single small structure being built, and then a little bit of a time skip to the finished product that we'll go over in real time instead of the speed up process. But essentially, for the overall idea of the workshop, it's going to have this exterior crafting area and an interior kind of assembly area that we're going to be filling with scaffolding and some tables later on. Going to go with a wooden roof. Now, I would have probably used the other wooden roof pieces like we did with the front, and to make the ramps on the two entryways. But I figured, you know, the object count is already relatively high, and so to keep the parts down to a minimum, the doors just made the most sense. And also, it does match the bathhouse, so I'm not too beat up over, you know, using something like that. And, you know, some clipping causing some issues with my original design, as I wanted to keep the roof relatively open, but the ugly clipping of the doors, I had to cover that up. Also, this is actually one of the few structures using plaster and stone, like the actual sandstone from the castle sets from the pirate kind of Caribbean area. On the inside, there's also some ropes, almost as if it would be a crane. And I also wanted to try and put maybe a little roof here over the well, but I felt like it was maybe a little too large for the piece, and so I uncovered it again. Anyways, gonna throw in some wonderful little trees, some bushes, just tie it in with the surroundings. A little bit of this canvas section just to break the building away from the garden area, and some more support pillars, all that wonderful good stuff, you know, that we have established pretty much throughout the rest of the town kind of city area. I do want to make this for download for you guys, so you guys will be able to download it. I don't really know the best way to do that. I hope to hopefully find something like that here in the next couple of days. You guys can also suggest sites that are easy to kind of upload for free, because, you know, otherwise I might as well just wait for like any type of workshop support that I hope they add to the game, so people can easily share their creations. Now, obviously, the workshop on the wings, we're gonna have some benches, some work benches, and then also a door to the actual outside element and some windows. So that looks relatively nice. Now at this point, we're gonna go ahead and skip to where all the minor little details are finished, and then go over to everything for your guys' pleasure. So again, here we are with a lot of the details in place, and hopefully it fits well enough, I think, to the kickflip. And I also wanted it to be a smaller structure, especially compared to, say, the library wings and then also the villas and stuff, just so it wouldn't be too, I guess, eye-catching. You know, I just wanted it to be a set piece that makes sense for, you know, a little flat ride that's going to be in this spot, and I think it serves its purpose really well. Let's go ahead and take a look of everything. I don't think it was a big enough thing for me to sit there and do these cinematic shots like previously, so we're going to get a little bit of a shorter episode because of that. But there is a bunch of little detail that I do want to go over, you know. Now, it being a workshop, of course, I wanted the workshop to look like something was at least going on. And so we have a few of these cranes in here, and they are building some type of wooden element. This is just a boat, like really sunken into the ground. So, you know, maybe they're building the framework of something cool to be used. Maybe some type of siege engine. Who knows what they're building in here exactly. The inside, you know, we're going to have some wooden kind of supports in here, and just the plain plastered walls, the work tables in the back with some items on it. Again, people aren't really going inside of there, so you don't have to fill it to the brim of a bunch of things. It's mainly viewed from about this distance away. The forge area here, just try to put, I guess, what would be supplies and other miscellaneous things that you might find around a workshop. There's definitely some wood piles in the back, some crates and things. Maybe this could be iron, even though this is more cannonballs. I guess they were made out of iron, so I guess it makes a little bit of sense. Though the Romans were definitely the Bronze Age anyways. Just some more wooden piles hanging around and some wooden fragments kind of scattered about, because it would be a little bit of a messy kind of area and operation. Here is a good look of the foundry, which I think turned out really well. I like the smoke. We get some actual kind of visual elements going on. You can still see Mount Olympus, which I really like the way Mount Olympus is in general, because it's so central to pretty much all the view lines. Like everywhere in the park, you're seeing Mount Olympus, period. And I love that. So hopefully, if my FPS gets any better, because right now we're sitting at like 14 FPS. I've been getting some complaints lately about how the FPS sucks in these videos. Not much I can do. So beyond just starting anew and starting a new park for you guys to enjoy and hopefully get a new theme going. On the back here, just some benches. The path does wrap around the building, so people could technically walk all the way back here to the bench and everything, and the way the gardens look. And so I think it's a successful little structure that definitely fills the gap that was caused from the library being constructed. So I think that's gonna do us for this park and area of our, I guess this is our first real good finished product here in Planet Coaster. I hope you guys get to stick around for the next thing that we build. It's going to be smaller. I want to build kind of smaller, more compact things. I think everyone kind of has the right idea in doing so. You know, example would be like maybe Silverette and his steampunk park, and then also his current one that he's doing. And you know, trying to keep it small so you can get more detail in, but also keep the FPS consistent enough to make a good product. So I hope to start maybe doing that here soon with the next one. Just a rundown for what we're gonna plan is it's going to be one coaster. It could be a dueling coaster, you know, or something like that, but it's going to be one main coaster attraction, kind of centralizing the area. You know, obviously a restaurant, obviously some booths here and there, but really in terms of total size, I wouldn't expect it to be much bigger than just our initial plaza here. But hopefully the buildings will be more interesting than what we have here, because the Roman stuff, you know, I was still really learning the building techniques, and so I feel like maybe we can turn it up a little bit and get even more detailed and even more interesting. Maybe pop in some better fantasy elements. So we'll see what we can do with what we have. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you all enjoyed today's video, feel free to subscribe if you're new. Go ahead and check out the other videos in the series. All of this stuff is there for your viewing pleasure. You can see how all of this is built. And hopefully I inspire some of you guys to make some cool creations, because that's really what I'm looking forward to do by doing YouTube at all. Because, you know, I'm not really into the sketch comedy kind of thing. You know, I have a dry sense of humor anyways. So, you know, building and inspiring the creative community to create some cool stuff really is what I'm after. So thank you guys so much for watching, and until then, I'll see you guys in some more Planet Coaster.